you need to have your racks made first because those are going in all day. If you don't have those first, you're going to be fucked. But once you get your racks made and you can relax, then you want to have at least 10 stuffed crust made. If it's a Friday or a Saturday, you want to have 20. So those, there's a big box of cheese sticks that under the make line, and once those are empty, every time those empty out, you get a new box. You take the box to the back, just like I said. Anything that runs out, you take the empty container back to the dishes to do it nighttime, and get a new container to restock it. But yeah, for the deep dish pizzas, you can fit 7 pieces in the crust. They tell you to put 6, but you can fit 7 in there. Really, you're supposed to do 6, but you could do 6 or 7. You just line it up. You do as you're making. You take a sheet out, a pan, and each piece of cheese you line on the crust. You just put it to the edge and fold the dough over it and press it down. And you do 6 of those all the way around, and that way there's a cheese crust. So that's pretty easy. And just like the other pizzas, like it's you want to make sure that you fold it over and push it back up against perfectly, not to where it's like it's still the same size. So you got to stretch out the dough a little bit more, stretch it and work with it and mold it to where the pizza stays the same size. So that way when you put the sauce on there, it's the same size as all the other pizzas. Same thing, you just put it in the sauce machine. Also with the sauce machine, they have a button. If somebody orders light sauce, you press light sauce before you sauce it. Somebody orders more sauce, you put more sauce before they sauce it. Okay, I'll tell you all the toppings that we have in the make line. They got, the pretzel pizzas. Okay, for the pretzel pizza, we keep a little container of baking soda mixed with water, a lot of baking soda in the water, and make sure that's always mixed up really good. Take a brush. People order pretzels a lot. So when you make the pretzel crust, you just take a regular sheet out, brush the edge with the water, the baking soda water, make sure it makes a perfect ring crust. And then there's a special pretzel crust ring that goes on that piece because it has a bigger crust, so it's a smaller ring. So you put that ring on there, then you get the cheese. You can order a pretzel crust with any kinds of pizza, but the original pretzel comes with nacho cheese sauce. So we also have a little bucket of nacho cheese sauce with a ladle. You just do that by hand. You take the one. It's a small ladle too, because there's supposed to be less sauce on the pretzel pizza. You take 1 scoop of the pretzel cheese sauce and spread it out evenly all the way to the ring, but try not to touch the ring because they want to keep the rings clean. So when you use the rings, you want to try to, if you're doing the sauce by hand, sometimes the sauce machine runs out and you don't have time to change it out in time, and you have a whole bunch of pizzas, so you have to do it by hand. So they have a bucket of regular sauce there ready. Also for the deep dishes, you do those by hand. All deep dishes you do by hand, and if you run out of sauce, the sauce machine, and you don't have time and you have a bunch of pieces to make, you can do them by hand real quick too. They have a big ladle and a small ladle. A big ladle for regular pizzas, a small ladle for deep dishes. And you use the ring. You don't have to use the ring with the sauce machine, of course. But use the ring when you cheese it. But anyways, so for the pretzel pizza, yeah. You do the crust, then you put the ring, the pretzel cheese. You use a small cup of cheese because it already has cheese sauce, so they want you to use less mozzarella for it. Small cup of cheese, and same amount of pepperonis, 6, 5, 4, 2 rows of 6, 2 5s, 2 4s, and then you just take the shredded cheese blend. They have 1 box of shredded cheese blend in the make line you use for pretzels and for cheesers. It's only for pretzels and for cheesers. Pretzel, it goes on the middle of the pizza. Okay, cheeser pizza, all it is a regular pepperoni pizza. 6 balls. So we have 3 kinds of cheese. The pretzel cheese sauce, mozzarella cheese balls, and the shredded cheese blend. For the cheeser, you get 7 balls of mozzarella, make a perfect circle, and put one in the middle. 6 around the circle, one in the middle. A regular pepperoni pizza that's already made on the rack. Then you put the 7 balls of mozzarella. Then you sprinkle rosemary on it. It's this green, flaky stuff. Then you take the shredded cheese blend and sprinkle it around the crust, so it has a cheese crust, not a stuffed crust, but it just has cheese melted on the top of the crust. So people never order that cheese blend because they don't really know about it, but it comes with the cheeser and the pretzel pizza. If they knew about it, I'm sure they would order it more. Like when they order extra cheese, you just put regular cheese on there. You don't put the shredded blend. You just put extra regular cheese that goes on all the pizzas. So we have, okay, on the make line, we got on top of usually they keep on top of the make line where they keep all they keep the rings on the top. And they have a tray of the cups and the topping cups. There's 5 topping cups, sizes, okay, on top of the make line. So there's all your cheese cups, all your ladles, all of that can go on the top with the rings, the pretzel cheese, and the baking soda water. The topping cups, there's blue. Blue is the biggest one for 1 topping pizzas. Green for 2 to 3 topping pizzas. Red, or no, blue for 1 topping, red for 2, green for 3, and white for 4 or more. So there's 4 cups of topping to get topping scoopers. All of our toppings, yeah, we got the mozzarella cheese balls, the shredded cheese, pepperoni, of course, the regular cheese that you use for all the pizzas. We have beef, bacon, ham, Italian sausage, mushrooms, pineapples, olives, green peppers, and onions. And that's it. That's everything. You want to keep those stocked up. I mean, you want to let it run down all the way until it's done before you restock it, because you don't need a whole bunch of extra out there. If you work at the make line, it's your responsibility to get all that shit taken care of all the time. If you work in the make line, usually around 8 o'clock you start breaking down. We close at 10. If you work at nighttime closing, you get out anywhere from 11 to 12:30. Closing time, if you work at the make line, okay, sometimes there's, on a regular weekday, it's usually just you, 1 person, and the manager closing. The manager, the girl I worked with, they worked really hard to help close. So even if it was just me and the manager closing, they would get a lot done. So people there, I don't know, the one I worked at was a good place. Some Friday and Saturday, there's usually 2 or 3 people closing, besides the manager, because there's more work. But closing time, around 8 o'clock, you start breaking down the make line. What you have to do is you grab a big tray from the back, a big dough tray. You go ahead and set up, take everything, all your toppings out of the make line, set it up on the tray. Make sure that they're all cleaned off, all the boxes, the edges are cleaned. Go ahead and get your lids ready. Go ahead and just get it ready. Everything that you're going to put underneath. Except for the cheeses, the sauce, and the pepperoni. So all the other toppings go on that tray besides the cheese, the sauce, and the pepperoni. Those you're going to want to set up on another table somewhere. But there's a big shelf next to the make line. You can go ahead and put those out. You leave them out though so you can still make pizzas, because you start closing down at 8 o'clock, but you got to leave those out so you can still make orders while you're closing. Y'all, it's raining really hard right now, so hold on. Damn it, man. I'll make a part two. I'll make a part two.